will begin the stream very shortly. Alright, we're gonna start the stream right now. No, wrong room. Hey, what's up, Alien Myth? Tonight we're gonna be reading Mickey's best friend. Note: this is a page that used to be found in a mediocre wiki site related to Disney. As you can imagine, this wiki was taken down because most of its contents belong to Disney. The pages of this article wiki are now long gone, except for the interesting page that I saved in the time of my visit. So how have you been, Alien Myth? Are you doing alright today? We're gonna excuse me. We're gonna continue on with the story. I heard how Disney loves to try and silence things that they don't want anyone to know about, and after reading this, the synopsis, I can't really blame them entirely for their decisions. I can only hope this page stays up. Still kinda not so good, but it's okay. You'll get better, Alien Myth. Mickey's best friend is controversial. "10-minute cartoon that was shown in Builders on November 15th, 1929. It was later banned and isn't allowed to be shown again due to its history of kids requiring constant attention after viewing its content. The cartoon was animated by UB Works, with music composed by Carl Stallings. It isn't even available to anyone who wants to complete their collections of classic Mickey cartoons. It was originally intended to be a Halloween-related short, which revolved around Mickey and Estes, an atmospheric dog character, Walt, the time that kids were getting dumped down by other shorts, and that they were mature enough to handle what they wanted to show them. Plot: Mickey is driving to his workplace in his car. Along the way, it breaks down due to the engine problem and he gets out to check it. When Mickey finds out it's beyond repair, he goes out into a depression until Eustace arrives and helps out by fixing the problem. Mickey is relieved and introduces himself after getting Eustace, named Mickey, invites him to go him somewhere. Eustace asks Mickey if he is supposed to be somewhere, but Mickey lies to him and decides to skip work. The two arrive in a cafe where the owner spots Mickey and gives him a stern look. He walks up and rudely asks Mickey what he wants after ordering the Sheriff Pete. Enters the conference Mickey demanding what he that he finally pays off his late rent. Mickey in his verge of a breakdown is I'll be right back. I need to answer a phone call. Alright, where did we left off? Stick your tongue out. Alright, where we left off. The verge of a breakdown, he pitted by Eustace, who decided to pay off Mickey's entire debt. The sheriff laughed and warned Eustace and telling him that Mickey will only cause him more trouble. Before leaving the scene, Mickey believed that he's off the hook. Hugs Eustace in joy. Mickey leaves the cafe and Eustace begins to introduce his new friend to the local residents through a bunch of different scenes. They didn't care and walk off. Last residents they speak of begin to chuckle for a bit and warns Eustace that they should be careful around most. They lost my place. To introduce his new friend and the local residents through a bunch of new different scenes, they didn't care and walk off. Last resident they speak to begins to chuckle for a bit and warns Eustace that he should be careful around the mouse. Eustace tries to get an explanation on why this person holds a grudge, but the resident is nowhere to be seen after his warning. Eustace asks Mickey why he's smiling after the reception. He's gone. Mickey admits to Eustace that he hasn't had friends before that, and Eustace is his first pal. Eustace feels bad and seems to be hiding something, like a guilty expression. Mickey and Eustace is a bunch of quick scenes stopped by a builder, play a game, and go atop a mountain viewing and scenery afterwards. Mickey shows Eustace his home and hope that he lives with him. It's where the Eustace feels bad for the mouse. He finally admits that he has to leave. Mickey is in shock and assumes that it is a betrayal like all of the other relationships he had. Eustace tells Mickey that he isn't pleased by the town and especially the residents, and is going to search somewhere. He apologized to Mickey and gives a few encouraging words before finally heading out the door. Mickey rushes and grabs Eustace by the leg and pleads to stay, but Eustace shakes his head. Mickey decides that he can lose his only friend, knocks him out and with a rock and was found in the ground. The next scene shows Mickey walking down the stairs to his basement. He turns on the lights where Eustace is tied up into the operating table. Eustace is still unconscious. Mickey begins to sob and act apologetically. He talks to Eustace through his state, telling him that it was not to be this way. He constantly shouts out that he couldn't be alone anymore, and he finally got a knife and under the operating table and began to work on him from off the screen. After Eustace finally awakened, it is revealed that he is no longer anthropomorphic, but a real dog. Begins to freak out, and can only make barks during the freakout. It switches to first-person mode, and we see Mickey entering the room. Eustace no longer seems scared at the moment and set his sights on Mickey through the mouse. He feels like he needs Mickey and finally pounces and licks him. Mickey tells Eustace, and nobody ever knew that this and it will be their internal secret. They tell Eustace that he will be known as a Pluto until they part. The scene switches to Mickey's home and zoom out. The sheriff's laugh is heard along with the residents who had warned Eustace about Mickey in the first place. Background. Yep, Mickey is quirky, alright. He's gonna get in a lot of trouble. Background. Walt Disney is inspired by a Halloween-themed short of the beloved mouse. The character was created and made up on the spot, which was later became official characters. The owner of the cafe would later become Daisy Duck, and the resident attempting to warn Eustace would later become Goofy, who supposedly looked a lot like Eustace's design. Pluto also became a reoccurring character, but connections of Eustace isn't mentioned. Elwork felt disgusted during the final portion of the cartoon and demanded that the operation scene would get censored. Walt had no choice but to give in to their demands. Production of the cartoon was delayed due to many of the workers in Elworks feeling unease in Eustace after reading the script. Production was very slow due to the employees not wanting to really finish the cartoon. There was really an undisclosed budget, which could be due to the animators demanding a higher pay for making something out of their comfort zone. Especially for a kids show, it took a few months to finish the production. Reception. A lot of outrage and controversy stirred after the cartoon finally got released to theaters. It was the opposite of what Walt wanted. People claimed that their children could sleep at night and would get nightmares involving getting operated on by Disney, by Mickey. It would even cause children who were very young to require constant attention because they didn't want to be alone, especially at night. Due to this, parents wanted to press charges over content. Walt Disney decided to destroy any copies of the cartoons he could come across in the attempts to hide his failures. Theories. Few have pointed out that how Esteem looks similar to Goofy. Some have said that Eustace's features would later on be given to the more clumsy Goofy. After multiple viewings, some have talked about the anthropomorphic characters being considered normal, perfect, being while the pharaohs are considered mentally disabled and are kept as pets that are mostly restrained due to how dangerous they can be. While they are not connected to Eustace in the future cartoons, Mickey get extremely worried when Pluto runs off or get lost. Will even try to risk his life in order to save his best friend. This is the only connection from Mickey's best friends that is shown in a cartoon. Source. There used to be a particular site that's shown screenshots of the short Mickey's Best Friend, but it is no longer accessible. The site can no longer be found and seem to be vanished. Most of the writers of the shorts are now deceased, mostly due to old age. Back when they were around, they didn't want to mention this cartoon. Some have said that this is due to guilt. And that is the end of Mickey's Best Friend story. That was a pretty creepy story. Let's go to another one. Alright, we kind of read a kind of short one. Let's read a long one. The Russian Sleep Experiment. I think we read that one already. Pastas of the month. What is this? This one looks creepy. Let's read that one. El Chavo del Ocho. Last episode. I'm probably gonna butcher that. But it looks creepy. I'm gonna hydrate real quick, then we'll get started. Alright. First, the history of the story. Untitled Chapter 8 is a Mexican comedy series that has gained an increased popularity in Spanish-speaking America, as well as in Spain, Brazil, United States, in Spain, Spanish only. In other countries, it centers around the adventures and contributions of the title characters. A chavo, an orphan, played in the show's creators, Roberto Gomez, Bolanos, and the other inhabitants of the fictional apartment buildings, and is called in Spanish something. Now the legend. Has anyone ever seen the episode where El Chavo the 8 was pretending that he had been hit by a car? Because if you did, or if you lived during the time it was broadcast, you may have noticed that there was a period of 4 months between this and previous episodes. Okay, what happened in this period of 4 months? Roberto Gomez Bolano apparently had filmed what was supposed to be in the series finals of El Chavo the 8 was more or less like the real episode. According to several former executives, the episode goes like this. Yeah. Pronunciation. The chapters begin in the characteristics intro series, but the sounds is outdated when the Weekended comes into view. No one shows up. The gate opens as if someone were to enter, but no one goes in. It goes on, but this for 2 or 3 minutes of the change of shot, and then you finally see El Chavo enter and hear the laugh track. The shots stop changing after this. It's the part where It's the shots stop changing after this. It's the part where a chavo comes out of the I don't know that word, and walks into the street. At the time, in comes Kiko and La Chili Randa. Kiko then asks that person where El Chavo is. Kiko asks in his in-character voice, though his cheek is not as inflated. That person says that he is in the streets with tomato sauce. In the exact moment she says that the streets, you will hear a horrible roar that does not appear in all versions of the tape. After the fade out in the scene of the episode which was broadcasted, the one where El Chavo pretends to be run over, where the character and the Weekended were crying, sounds of outdated and sobs seems to be coming from a lot more people. Just that there was a cutscene from what appears to be a commercial break. Then there was a change in another scenario, but Duna, Warunda, Don Roman, Professor, Giraffe lost Kiko, and lost Sorry, I can't really pronounce these names. We're gonna do another one. The Rugrats Theory. That one's a classic one. That one's a creepy picture over there. It's like one of the characters with no irises. Rugrats, the Rugrats Theory, the original version. The Rugrats Theory. The Rugrats really was a figment of Angelica's demonic and unimaginable imagination. Chucky died in 1986 along with his mother. That's why Chaz is nervous wrecked all the time. Tommy was born in 1988, but he has a stillborn. That was why Stu is constantly in the basement making toys for his son, who never had a chance to live. The Dwellers had an abortion in 1990. Angelica couldn't figure out whether it was a boy or girl, thus creating the twins. As for all grown up to teenage, Angelica became addicted to various narcotics, which further aggravated her schizophrenia, bringing her back to her childhood. Thus, her creations are obsessed over because of time lapse between the present and the last time she interacted with their creations. She made them older. Angelica was constantly taking hits of acid, so she was never had to live without her creations, who were only was born. Without her creations, who were only company in judgmental world. Angelica's mom actually died of a heroin overdose in 1982 after Angelica's was born, and Drew in his depression married a gold digger or that Angelica idolized because she's fooled herself into thinking that it was her real mom, but always had a constant concept of her mom, Cynthia, and took a Barbie doll and made it up, and after her mom's image, wearing an unwashed orange dress and having a jacked up hair, which is all was so attached to it. Later in life, she followed in her mom's footsteps as a drug with drugs and everything, dying of overdose at age of 13 when All Grown Up was cancelled. The only Rugrats not to be fictional, however, was unborn Tommy brother. Well, Dill. However, Angelica didn't know that the difference between Dill and her creations, although Dill didn't follow her commands after endless crying and a refusal to disappear like the others did. When Angelica was angry at them, she hid him. Due to this, he sustained a brain hemorrhage, which resulted in a deformation. As he grew up, his damage it only became more evident, and by the time he was 9 and all grown up, he lived as an outcast. Being ridiculed for his weirdness and retardation. The immense guilt over this is what led Angelica to drugs use, and is what led Angelica to unrecreate the Rugrats briefly until her experience with hallucinogenics. On a trip of Paris to find love, Chaz married a woman named Kara. He actually going to marry a different woman named Coco, but she just wanted him for his money. Who named the daughter named Kima that was torn from her because she was a cocaine addict. Angelica imagined her from Kira's story. He lost his mind after the death of his wife and was in denial that she was ever a prostitute. Susie was actually Angelica's only friend who entertained the thought of Angelica's creation. For her sake, Angelica spent the last days of her life in the back of the school cafeteria, imagining friends around her and playing with the lives of her creation. Tweaked version. The Rugrats were really a figment of Angelica's imagination. This is the tweaked version. Yeah. We already read the original version. So we're good. So what do you think of that story, Alien Myth? Was it creepy? No, it's actually very scary. Not gonna lie. Let's do gaming creepypastas. Dying happy. This is a new one. Polly hasn't read before. Dying happy. Gonna get some more water real quick. Be right back. I'm back. We are going to read Dying Happy, a gaming creepypasta. So, did you get Super Smash Bros? I asked my friend, Owen. He paused, looked, and took a drag on a cigarette before answering. I got Tamagotchi Life. What? I thought you were going to get Smash Bros. I got it, thinking we were gonna play together. I know, but I watched those hilarious YouTube videos of Tamagotchi characters singing songs. You can change the lyrics to anything you want. It's freaking awesome. That does sound awesome, but I wish you had told me. I would have just gotten it too. Sorry, dude. Oh well, Smash Bros would be good anyways. Owen took another drag and said, I gotta go back to work. I'll call you later and tell you how it is. Okay, I'll just play Super Smash Bros till then. Bye. Bye. Now watch the videos. Okay, bye. I went on YouTube and searched Tamagotchi. went on YouTube and searched Tamagotchi Life, funny songs. Needless to say, people making their own lyrics. People making their own lyrics to songs sung by video game characters. It's so funny, as you would think it is. Damn, I said. Now I want this game. That evening, Owen calls to tell me all about it. Dude, I would love Tamagotchi Life. I made a most messed up looking people. I can't wait for them to have babies. They have babies? That's awesome. Yeah, and they have combinations of their parents. So if the parents look all fucked up, then the babies will probably be like the complete freak. Damn, Smash Bros is fun. I did a few online battles, but I didn't know what I'm doing yet. Owen changed the subject back to Tamagotchi. It's weird though. I didn't get to make my own characters at the beginning. Why not? I didn't know there was already a character there. I wanted to import my me, but it was just jump around over that part. I know because I watched a video on YouTube showing someone starting a game on the first time. I tried to edit it, but it wouldn't save. That's weird. So you're forced to be someone else? Well, not really. I mean, I just made another character that looks like me, but I'm pretending that he's the main guy. It's just weird cause the me's talk to the other guy like he's the mayor or whatever, not me. Hey wait, did you get a used copy? Oh, that must be it. They usually erase the games before they resell them, or at least at my store we did. Owen has previously worked at GameStop. I guess they forget or didn't bother. Are you gonna restart? Oh, there's no point really, besides the character is awesome. His name is Mr. Happy Death. He's even got a song. A song? Did other people get songs? Yeah. But his is fucking awesome. He's called Dying Happy. Huh. That's awesome. I wanna hear it. Yeah, maybe I can find a way to put it on the internet or something. Oh wait, let me show you the lyrics. Alright. Owen turns to this 3DS and loads up Tamagotchi Life. He quickly brought up Mr. Happy's techno song, Dying Happy. Okay, listen. Well, first it says, in a robot voice, everyone's dying happy. That's awesome. Yeah, then it goes, Owen begins to sing playfully in this gentle baritone. It's so awesome whenever people die. They are not alive anymore. It makes me happy. I'll never been so happy. Let's all die. I hold hands, jump to our deaths. Our brains will splatter. Happy death. It's so cool. Let's all commit suicide. He starts to laugh towards at the end, and I busted out in hysteria. It sounds like something he would write, I said. Yeah, it's even better than Mr. Happy's. Yeah, it's even better when Mr. Happy sings it. I even listen to it like hundreds times. You have to see the way they dance too. A song along isn't enough. I gotta find a way to show it to you. Well, you need to get Smash Brothers so that we can play that together. I will. I gotta go, though. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye. But he didn't call. And the day after, he didn't call. I tried calling him, but it just went to voicemail. It wasn't unusual that he was working a lot to not hear from him, but I didn't think anything of it. A week later, I finally got a call from Owen's number. "What's up?" I said, as I usually did when Owen's call. A female voice answered quietly. "This is Jenny." "Oh, what's up?" "It's about Owen." "What about him?" "Something horrible happened." Her voice was trembling, and I could tell that she's been crying. I didn't know what to think, but I knew if Owen's wife was calling me and there was something seriously wrong. I thought maybe he left her, but I wasn't sure why she would call him to tell when Owen could just do it himself. "Just tell me what happened. It's okay. Owen is no longer with us." I didn't understand the meaning of those words. My best friend wouldn't die and leave me alone. Not when we were both doing so well. I had been in a new medication for a year and a half and helped to fix a lot of my issues, and had to quit drinking and gotten a new job. He couldn't die now when everything was going alright. For a change. After a long silence, I asked the burning question, "How did it happen?" He jumped off the overpass. What? He jumped? He didn't fall. I refuse to believe he killed himself. He definitely jumped. He smiled at me before he did it. By the end of the statement, she began sobbing and could no longer speak properly. I was speechless. There wasn't anything I could imagine that could make him do anything like that. We were so close that if he was really going to kill himself, he would tell him. He would tell me. He would at least send me an email or something with a goodbye message. I was more angry than sad, though later. When I was alone in the dark, I cried for a while. It had been a long time. A few weeks later, I decided to purchase Tamagotchi Life so I could feel closer to Owen. He was really enjoying the game when I talked to him last, so I could remember him being happy whenever playing it. He was right about it being hilarious. I made a bunch of crazy looking knees, but I also made one that looked like Owen, and of course myself. I pampered the me a lot and made sure he married the most charming girl in the island. One day, I was shocked to receive an email from Owen's address. I opened it, assuming it was from Jenny, and was surprised when I saw a video file. Why would Jenny send me a video? I thought it might be some kind of memorial video about Owen, but that's not what it was. I clicked play and was immediately confused. It was nearly black and white and pretty blurry. It looked like someone recording a video game in a webcam, a crappy webcam, and then the words, everybody's dying happy. Without even thinking, I stopped the video. Right there, my whole body went numb. I sat still for a few minutes, wondering if I should press play again. Who would have sent this to me? Did Owen send it before he died, and it showed up now? I didn't recall his webcam being in such low quality. My curiosity overtook my fears, and I resumed the video. There were 6 me's dancing in a stage. Mr. Happy certainly descended, revealing his spooky face. He had no hair. His eyes were just 2 black holes. In his mouth, a black oval, resembling the famous painting, The Scream. It was all rather innocent, really, until he began to sing. The music was upbeat, but the lyrics was just as Owen had recited them to me. They were all funny at the time, but now they felt morbid and disturbing. Knowing that my best friend killed himself, I realized then there could be a connection. I just didn't know who to send this. I realized then that there could be a connection. I just didn't know who sent this email. Tired to forget about Mr. Happy, but for some reason I found myself watching the video. In fact, I watched it dozens of times. Each time I became less afraid and more accepting of the lyrics. Perhaps Mr. Happy had a point. Dying happy does seem like something everyone would want to do. After all, everyone dies sometimes. Why die sad? Owen wasn't sad when he died. He was smiling. Though a smile doesn't always mean that someone is happy. They could be hiding their true feelings. Was Owen hiding his? When I went back to Tamagotchi life, I was greeted by an unwelcome face. Somehow, Mr. Happy had moved in. The same name, same face, same catchphrase. It was impossible. My niece and nephew hadn't been over for a while, so I knew there was no one else playing. Even if there were, they wouldn't know about Mr. Happy. I shut off the system, put it down, and sat there, stupefied. I didn't move for hours, but I calmed down a little. I found myself humming Mr. Happy's song. I just couldn't help it. I had to continue playing Tamagotchi if Mr. Happy was related to Owen's suicide, and anyway, I needed to see for myself what he was all about. Everything seems fine when I realized to my little island, Mr. Happy was just like the other residents. Even with his strange catchphrases like "death feels good," I tried to change, but they wouldn't keep. I even changed the lyrics to the song, but they reverted back as well. Even stranger, Mr. Happy became the most charming male on the island, and every female was in love with him. I couldn't figure out how Mr. Happy could be involved in Owen's stuff. He was just a video game character. If he was in both our games, then he must have been put in by the programmers. Maybe he appeared later in my game because I needed to unlock him or something. At least that's what I thought at the time, until me started dying. Name of me has committed suicide. That's the message I got when I looked at one of the Mii's of the Mii apartment. It could never put suicide in a family-friendly game like Tamagotchi Life. It was beyond unsettling. Did this happen in Owen's game too? I wondered. The game. The next day, the dead Mii's apartment was gone, and the Mii's that lived next door had committed suicide. It didn't affect me quite the same way as the first one, dying, but it was still remarkably strange. It continued to happen that way as the day progressed. Every time I played, the Mii who killed themselves in previous days was erased entirely, and another Mii was lying dead in their apartment. As another went by, I became less and less concerned by what has happened. Honestly, it started to make me feel good when the Mii's would kill themselves. I knew it was going to happen, and the anticipation provided to be good, quite accelerating. Owen's death drifted further and further from my mind, and I began to feel happier when I was happier than I was before he died. After 36 Mii's were gone, there was just one more lying dead, Mr. Happy, Owen, and myself. The suicides occurred in descending order, according to the apartment layout. So the order of the next suicides would be Owen himself and Mr. Happy, but Mr. Happy can't die. He has to be there to help others to be happy. Without him, I would never have been realized that we should all die happy. I know now that the reason why Owen killed himself was because he was happier than when he had ever been. He wanted to die happy. He wanted to die free. I want to do the same. The following morning, I got up early to play Tamagotchi Life. I smiled inside and out when I saw Owen's Mii lying dead on the floor of his virtual apartment. Mr. Happy Sing started playing on its own. I danced around in the room and thought I didn't know how to dance. Just one more dance. Just one more day, and it will be my turn. My me will die, and I will die happy. It's something everyone should do. Why would we want our last moments to be painful? Don't we all want our families and friends to remember us smiling tomorrow? I will jump off to my death, but first I will smile at someone I love. Thank you, Mr. Happy. That's the story of Mr. Happy. Indeed, very depressing. Let's go to another story. Mario Herobrine. So how do you like the story, Alien Myth? Did you enjoy it? Ooh, let's do that one. Super Mario 64. I think we already read this one already. No. This one is actually a disturbing story. We could read that one. And it's pretty long also. Alright. We're gonna read Mario, a gaming creepypasta titled Mario. Mario is a Super Mario World ROM hack pasta by... Oh. We're gonna get to the story. Alright, we're gonna get to the story. The story. No, this is a true story and sums up what has going through my mind as I was playing this and had no idea it was... I was about to bullshit it in a way I was when I played this, and I can say it is by far the creepiest hack I played. If you were on a ARC, you would have heard about you would heard me talking about it as well. But anyways, it's late at night and I don't have that much time. And I need to get sleep. So this is all the time I have for. So it all happened on tonight of all nights. I was bored, obviously contemplating on what I thought I would do to waste time as I chatted with the people and hashtag MWC. We had good times and shared a few laughs together out on boredom. Excuse me. I decided to patrol the hacks, waiting to the moderated section. Seems that we had quite a bit. 33 if I recall currently. The first few hacks I saw when I sorted them by date were a couple really horrible ones with bad screenshots to boot. Naturally showed those hacks to the something currently on hashtag SMWC. We were laughing at how bad some of those were. Then I got to a hack called Mario. Just that, nothing more, nothing less. The description seemed quite odd. But if some Japanese hackers was trying to translate the original plot to Super Mario World into English and failing horribly, I showed this to Karen and he started laughing at the description. It follows. If you play the role of Super Mario Plumber, verify that you are a beautiful something. Again, Bowser kidnapped the evil king. It is your job to save her. This hack includes 6 levels of very long. Simply dismiss this as someone trying to act Japanese and release a crappy hack with some edits or so. That's what I thought that was at first. Curiosity got the best of me and I decided to download the hack, not knowing what I was in for since the single screenshot of the hack was in the title screen with nothing but the letters Mario from Super Mario World titles screen. I thought there was a little odd that there were no date, anything either, as hackers usually place their names and date in the title to mark when the project was started. So when I opened the hack, I read 2 files, one called $3007014. I sample text file 27 KB in size in the file LPS file. Simply named Mario. For some odd reason, I wanted to see what the author of the hack had to say. When I opened the hack in the notepad, there was nothing but the indistinguishable symbol and letter and punctuation sorts of like how when you open a ROM in a text editor like notebook. Seems like the author was completely copied his ROM of text form though. I could be wrong. Taking a closer look at the top of the text, mixed in with the gibberish, I found on the only thing that had looked like English there was a piece of what I found. Find me, find me, find me, find me, find me, find me. To be honest, I didn't know what to make of this, and I thought it was to simply waste some of my time by making me find some text of the gibberish file that I'm willing to bet no one ever be able to make sense of. I decided that because my interest was growing steadily, I would start looking through my horribly disorganized download folders for a copy of a clean ROM, which I had downloaded a great deal of time before the events of tonight's unfolded, and an IPS patcher, of course. My choice of the job was Lunar IPS. So I then proceed to move the ROM and the IPS patcher on the folder. With the hack, I patched the ROM, not knowing what to expect next. I quietly hurried to drag the ZSNES to play what I thought was a terrible in the form of a ROM image. I noticed in the boot up that the author had taken the time to change the header of his hack instead of the usual Super Mario World you normally seen in a boot up. In a ROM ZSNES, it just had the letters Mario there again, and this generally don't know enough to change a header title. I thought I wasn't wasting my time with this, and my mood brightened slightly at the thought of seeing what the author had to offer in his interesting little hack. Yeah, take a little bit of water real quick. So the title screen loaded exactly like it would with Super Mario World, except it had Mario, it just Mario on the title. Like I had mentioned earlier, something else had grabbed my attention more so than the usual obscene of layers. 3. Title of the screen: Mario normal bright colored and the happy palette seemed, how can I put it, dull. What was once a violet like red was what seems like gray with a slight red tint to it, and I'm fairly sure his pants were looking more gray than blue too. I thought this was strange, and I wondered why he had decided to give Mario such a dull palette. Regardless to what his intentions were, I felt that something was wrong. Not in the sense that the palette was slightly bad, but the hack was empty, like nothing had happened upon pressing the start selection in a new file. Like a lot of other countless Mario hacks I have played in the past, there was some sort of intro screen that basically describes the entirety of the plot in a short paragraph that's small enough to fit in the small black box. I began reading it, and for the most part, the message stayed in the screen. But there was one key factor that made this interesting. Apparently, the main antagonist of the hack wasn't even Bowser at all. It was Mario. The message read as follows. What the? This wasn't in the original message from the Super Mario. I thought to myself, normally, I didn't think anything of this thing as how over my nearly 2 years at SMW Central, as I have played countless hacks and and I have seen different intro messages, but this one really stuck out. At this point, I definitely knew there was something odd about this hack. Upon letting the intro level music play, I pressed the start button in my own controllers to finally get the overworld, begin my journey into this unknown hack. Mario, the antagonist. Welcome, this is a dinosaur land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Mario has done it again. Upon entering the overworld, everything seems normal. Same old level paths, same old music, but the level names were different. Instead of Yoshi's house, like it always has been. Every time I played Super Mario World, it was simply just Yoshi's. The house part was gone. I thought that this was strange, and I began to lose hope in the hack because I had seemed like barely anything had changed at all. From the original, I was hoping to see everything new. Well, unluckily for me, I got my wish. As you see when you read on, I decided to enter the level of my curiosity. When I entered the whole house, the normally air was gone. No more smoke. No more fire. No more birdies. No more treehouse. All was there left was the message box. I decided to hit it. Upon opening, the message I expected to be there was replaced to what seems like a binary. Apparently it says Notepad. At this point, I was on our ARC telling everyone that about the hack was starting to weird me out, which itself yielded something sarcastic response. But yeah, hey, I expected it. Anyways, after this, my interest level in this hack skyrocketed, and along with my paranoia, oh boy, was in for a fun surprise. So I decided to head left upon reaching what was before known as Yoshi's Island 1 level. Was now labeled Never Come Back. Now I thought things were going to be all Kuzo Death Trap, cause generally that is what people name their levels, and Kuzo's hack to make sure that the players don't go there. To my surprise, it wasn't quite that way though. I wish that it had been. Upon entering level 10-5, I was greeted by the insanely loud clown car sound that Bowser flying vehicle makes right before Peach falls out. Of course, with my headphones being moderately high, the sound scared the living shit out of me, which wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been so nervous. Therefore, I decided at this time it wouldn't be best if I turned the volume of my headphones down. As long as to not get any more unpleasant surprise such as that anymore. I'm gonna get another water. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. When I entered the level, other than the music, everything seems to be the same, except for the fact that the little Koopa that slides in the ledge wasn't there anymore, nor the Bonzo Bill. The dragon coin was still there, however, for some odd reason, I wasn't able to collect them, or rather, any dragon coins at all. The other made certain of that. I also noticed that there was a brown used block near the spot where the Bonzo Bill normally showed up. I can only assume that there was a revisit of the level after I had beaten it, like I have heard of the half-assed creepy story of the other Mario games. Now I was wondering why things were like this, making me wondered about the intro message. Had Mario done something previous? Was Mario now I was wondering why things were like this, making me wonder about the intro message. Had Mario done something previously to Dinosaur Land? Was this a Bowser point of view? I quickly dismissed the latter option because it seems like a kind of stupid. So that left me thinking that tomorrow is one point in time the author's story did something happen. But what? Dragon coin. What did Mario do? My mind was nothing but rushing through at the point. However, I quickly dismissed them and ventured through the level, only to find that all blocks had basically been hit. Coins had been collected, save dragon coins were still there and unattainable, that there were no enemies, and that I could no longer go down pipes. What kind of bullshit am I playing here? I kept thinking to myself. At the point I felt uncomfortable. I decided to keep venturing. Eventually I came across a message box, which I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't surprised, was still in a level, being the idiot I am. I went in a box. Upon hitting it, I was greeted with a familiar black box once again. The message was edited, obviously, as I had figured that this was a given at the point. It reads as follows. Now I thought things were starting to get the vibe of the author was twisted and wrapped individually. But I was right about Mario having done something. At this point, I was basically rushing to get the end of the level, so I just scurried by, and then I just came across another message box. However, this one was just another blank box with point of advice at the top, with nothing else in it. I quickly discarded it and headed off further and to the right, hoping to free myself of the hell that was once level 105. Upon reaching the end, I saw a fire flower on the top block, where the four-way block intersection used to be. However, it was too high for me to reach by normal means, so I had continued onward like a blind curious idiot. I would do. So I finally beat the level. So usually the path of the Yellow Switch Palace was unlocked, so I decided to head up to the path normally lead to the Yellow Switch Palace. and I found when I entered the main overworld, every other landmass decoration besides the ghost and the ghost houses, Yoshi's Island itself was gone. Nothing really changes. Yellow Switch Palace except for the Switch messages. At the Yellow Switch Palace except for the Switch message, all that change that was. The Switch Palace was changed to Mario World. Boring anyways, just when I thought I was done with all of the abomination that called itself a hack, I thought that Yoshi's Island 2 was also being edited. Oh joy, I thought to myself, sarcasm. Upon reaching Yoshi's Island 2, I found that it had been renamed to Yoshi's House, the original name for aim of level 104. I decided to enter and find the palette of the level had been changed along with the background. They seem to have been changed to the same palette as Yoshi's Island 3, you know, greenish tint and such, except for the background was pushed down some and was now rotting brown colors, and the vegetation on the BFG was now no longer present. I decided to explore the level a bit and came across the trial of Koopas. The countless players have used a shell to track free 1-ups, but decided to ignore them and go see if any more of the levels would change. I eventually came across the question mark that holds Yoshi and decided to free him. Upon releasing him, I got this message. This had me wondering what kind of sick and twisted hack I was playing. I had thoughts of all possible scenarios of Mario attacking dinosaurs, land horribly and causing an irreversible damage. The author had me hooked to his little sick game, and like any other idiot, I took the bait and kept coming back for more. Somewhere not so far off from the Yoshi block, I found the message box in the same place I remembered that I always had been. That I learned anything from playing this? It's that whatever had to be in the message box message was not going to be even remotely normal in the slightest. This made me hesitate to hit it, but I ended up doing it anyways. I wanted to find out more. The message I was greeted with was as follows: but this is where anything I can do change your mind. Hooray, thank you for rescuing me. My name is Yoshi. One of my ways to rescue my friend Mario trapped me in that egg. What the fuck? I thought to myself, what the hell is this? even means. I changed my mind. What would I change my mind about anyways? Was this about Mario and whatever he did? What about people were trying to convince him to stop? Was Yoshi's talking to me through the message boxes, or was it about me playing the hack, asking me? As if the hack was trying to talk to me through the message boxes. Either way, rather it was more backstory on the Mario had done, or it was questioning my decisions to keep going. I decided to keep progressing, despite the obvious signs that I should be quitting playing the hack a while ago. I progressed further. I found that I was right. All vegetation was now gone, and nothing was left at all save a few enemies, odd chucks and moles and such. Even the pipes were gone. I came across another message box, like in all other times before I decided to hit it. I was greeted with yet another corrupted message. Point of advice. This is the selfish way out. The selfish way out? What the hell? Was he calling me selfish for continuing to play the hack despite the warnings? Had Mario made some kind of selfish decision? What only befitted him? Was Yoshi still trying to talk to me? What the hell was this guy trying to tell me? At this point, I was creeped out by the point that I was shaking slightly, a mix of anticipation, fear, and the fact that my room was terribly cold last night. I closed the message box and once again proceeded further. The area with the moles seemed the same, except for the fact that the block next to the vine block was gone. Along for the happy clouds and the dragon coin, and the vines allowed access to this. Made me feel gloomy, to say the least, not so much frightened as I was depressed. It's a feeling I couldn't really explain well from the point it was basically just a big empty stretch of land to the end of the level. I proceed quickly. I wanted to get the fuck out of there, as I felt that I had spent enough time there looking around, so me and Yoshi, I still had him at the time, opened up the next path in the overworld. It too was changed. Was once Yoshi's Island 3 red as Yoshi's Island 7. Memories of Super Bobato Mario flooded in my mind. How the level was take giant leaps in numbers order to make it seem ridiculous. Though at the time I didn't quite find it humorous due to the common sense and obvious reasons explained earlier. I returned to the level. As I entered, I was welcomed by a solid black background and a blue and gray colored floor. The place seemed frozen, lifeless, and barren. There was nothing in the level at all, save the go point. Just a clear stretch of land with nothing else at all. I quickly lost interest and finished the level. This was what seems like the most empty and creepy level at the game, though to read on. It gets far worse with the level beaten. A new path open. Yoshi's Island 4 was now just leave now. Now I hesitated as to whether I would stop playing, but my interest kept me going further at this point. Hashtag SMWC was nothing but me posting finding and messages from the hack, so others could experience what I have experiencing. The channel sadly was unusually inactive. Seems like no one really cared or wasn't around. I felt alone. I proceeded into the level for the most part. Everything seems like the same, save for the fact that there was now no water set out to keep me from falling in pits without using Yoshi's as a sacrifice. The level was also void of all enemies as well. Whenever I got to an area that seems too far for me to jump, I found that I could just Whenever I got to an area that seems too far to jump, I found that I could just walk right across on the air, thus getting right in the need to use Yoshi as a sacrifice. It's apparently the hack wanted me to keep him. I couldn't tell that much. I was able to get the pipe that usually leads to the exit level. I went in and find that the room was exactly the same and everything in the right place, and nothing edited, or so I thought. The messages box once again broken. The mood of that brief moment I have gained upon entering the pipe. At this point I was questioning whether I should keep going to see how it ends, or quit. Now, while I still have a bit of common sense left, the message box was short of indistinguishable, and I couldn't really make out sense of it. For a moment I tried to figure out what happened, what the box meant, or eventually I just gave up and beat the level. I figured the box wasn't worth the time, and rather with the level beaten, the path of the first world castle open, now renamed from #1 Iggy's Castle to #1 Go Back. I sure did feel welcome here. I think we're gonna end it here. This is a very long story. Yeah, it's gonna go on for a little bit longer, but I don't think we're able to do that. We might read some more of it a little bit later in the next stream. Thank you everyone that have watched the stream and listened. I had a good time. See you guys later. Peace out.